If you've been keeping up on Android news, you would know this is a big week for Pixel fans. Within the past few days, we got a ton of additional details on the upcoming Pixel 9, 9 Pro, 9 Pro XL, and the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? I know that's a mouthful, but there are a ton of changes on the way with the 2024 Pixel lineup that Damien and I are pretty excited to tell you about. Of course, here at 9 to 5 Google, we talk all things Android and Google with reviews, news, Pixel and Gemini updates, plus a ton more. So if you're interested in all the major Google information that's coming out soon, feel free to subscribe because we plan to cover every bit of it.
Let's start with a full report on the base model, as with the Pixel 9, it appears we're getting quite a lot of core design changes. The most obvious difference first is that refined new design language. Where the Pixel 8 has soft curves and a comfy, bubbly approach, for lack of better words, the Pixel 9 series is shifting to sharper, boxier styles with flat rails and flat rear glass, which is very similar to some classic Android phones like the Essential phone and, dare we say it, the recent iPhone lineup. One surprising change though is that the camera bar is being altered once again, actually quite drastically this time. Instead of spanning the full width of the device, it will be an isolated pill-shaped module, much like you'll see on the first generation Pixel Fold. More on that second generation though in just a minute, so stay tuned. For the size, it's expected to be a bit taller, a bit wider, a bit thinner than the previous Pixel 8 series, measuring in at 152.8 by 71.9 by 8.5mm thick, but the display real estate is actually dropping to 6.03 inches from the current 6.2 inches, making the Pixel 9 a lot more compact than the Pixel 8. What's interesting is how the cameras will evolve on this device as well. For anyone hoping for a triple lens setup on that base model, you'll be disappointed, as the Pixel 9 will have a similar setup to the base Pixel 8. That means two camera lenses for what we assume are going to be a primary main focus lens and an ultra-wide lens thrown in there. Although we do expect that to be the case, it may change if Google decides, hey, we're going to throw a telephoto back in there. The Tensor G4 will be the processor of choice on the Pixel 9, and it won't be a very big upgrade. It will be using Samsung's latest 4nm process and packaging method. The SoC is reported to be using a newer FOWLP or fan out wafer level packaging method. The end result is supposed to be improved heat management and power efficiency over the Tensor G3 chip, which is probably music to your ears. One of the biggest recent leaks with the Tensor G4 is that it will bring a brand new modem, and it will be an upgrade as this will ship with the Samsung Exynos 5400, which of course is an upgrade over the previous generation's Exynos 5300, and therefore should offer faster speeds and better battery life as a result of improved performance, but specific details on this are yet to be revealed. The software improvements should also enhance stability of connections, but the most exciting feature is the built-in satellite connectivity, which has leaked previously in Android 15 and has appeared on some Pixel 8 series phones. This potentially means you could call for help even in remote areas with no cell service, offering peace of mind for emergencies. Supposedly, T-Mobile, with the help of SpaceX, will be able to get this functionality working in the US. No word on those of us, or for those of us outside of North America, but we do expect to see more regional opportunities and options available in the coming months when the Pixel 9 series does break cover. Overall, I have to say the base Pixel 9 is setting up to be a solid update, but it's definitely not a must-have or game-changing device, especially if you've used the Pixel 7 or even the Pixel 8. That said, if you're disappointed, Jordan has some details on the Pixel 9 Pro and the potential Pro XL that might pique your interest.
Damien is right, there is a lot of interesting information on the Pixel Pro model, or should I say models. Recent leaks revealed Google is working on two variants of the Pro series device, one being the Pixel 9 Pro, which sports the same exact dimensions as the base level Pixel 9, except for the screen size being bumped up to 6.2 inches instead of 6.03 we see on the regular Pixel 9, and we're getting a Pixel 9 Pro XL. It looks like we're bringing back the classic naming scheme from older Pixels. Dimensions for the XL model come in at 162.7 by 76.6 by 8.5 millimeters, which makes it ever so slightly taller, wider, and thinner than the Pixel 8 Pro we have now, but the screen size is reportedly being decreased from 6.5 inches from 6.7. However, dimensions for the XL model are coming in at 162.7 by 76.6 by 8.5 millimeters, which makes it ever so slightly taller, wider, and thinner than the Pixel 8 Pro we have now, but the screen size is reportedly being decreased to 6.5 inches from 6.7. However, the display size report doesn't seem 100% correct, so I would take that with a grain of salt, at least for now. Based on the renders, we get a good look at what the 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL will offer, like a triple camera setup, most likely sporting the same primary, ultra-wide, and telephoto lenses. Even more interesting, it appears the infamous temperature sensor is returning for both Pro models. Personally, I like that they're continuing to build off that sensor. I know many people have said they don't get a lot of use out of it, yet for something new like this, I really think it takes a few generations for it to hit its stride. Although its success will depend on how much more useful it gets as time goes on. It's still early impressions, but as a whole, it does look like the regular Pixel 9 Pro will have the same feature parity as the XL, which is exciting, and apparently a lot of you think so too. We ran a poll on the 9 to 5 Google website asking our readers which Pixel 9 devices they'd be interested in, and out of the 1,800 submissions, a whopping 54% were looking forward to the Pixel 9 Pro, 30% were looking at the 9 Pro XL, and 18% are going for the base Pixel 9. It's a small bit of data, but in the grand scheme of things, it does appear the normal size 9 Pro will be very popular, and rightfully so. Over the past few years, I've seen so many comments asking about a smaller Pixel device with the Pro level features, as they don't want to be forced into a gigantic phone, and if you're that person, 2024 seems to be your year. To my surprise, there is a fourth Pixel 9 device expected to be available for the first time ever with the Pixel Fold 2 that is reportedly being renamed to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. That name doesn't really roll off the tongue smoothly, but I think it does indicate that Google's ready to standardize the Pixel Fold into its main series lineup, which is sorely needed. The current Pixel Fold has been made notorious for excluding a lot of features, either due to hardware limitations or software optimization, and at double the price, it's probably the most frustrating parts of ownership. It's still a rumor for now, but I'm hoping this means the Pixel 9 Pro Fold will get the same exact features as the 9 Pro with on-device Gemini Nano, Pro-level cameras, plus all the exclusive features like manual mode, video boost, enhanced zoom whenever that arrives, and all the future additions that come with owning a Pro Pixel model. Originally reported by Android Authority, that cover display is going to lose its passport-style design at 5.8 inches and is swapped out with a taller 6.4-inch display, which means by extension, the inner display will lose that 7.6-inch wide aspect ratio in exchange for a 7.9-inch squarish display like the OnePlus Open. It's also rumored the inner display will get much thinner bezels and move the inner camera underneath the display for a much cleaner look. Rear cameras are getting a major overhaul too. Right now it's unclear of the specs, although based on the renders, it does appear the Pixel staple camera bar is retiring in exchange for a small, square module tucked away in the top corner. In my opinion, it certainly isn't the cleanest look. I prefer the style we have on the original, but as long as it has the 9 Pro's camera sensors, I can see myself getting over it. Finally, in our last piece of news, it is reported that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold will not be using the Tensor G3 chip and instead will be going right to the Tensor G4. Again, another huge pain point with the original Pixel Fold was how it was released with the Tensor G2 chip almost 6 months before the much improved G3 chip was set to arrive. And while it didn't ruin the phone in terms of performance, the G3 had huge advancements to AI features and security that prevented the Fold from getting some of the top of the line features. Overall, the Pixel Fold 2, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold seems to be everything I was hoping for the Pixel Fold 1 to be. Lots of changes to hardware and might possibly be one of the most improved Google devices in the past few years.
We are also expecting one more Google smartphone launch in 2024, the Pixel 8a, which is actually not too far away, and it would be a shame to gloss over in this full overview of everything that's happening with Google in 2024. We have a whole video dedicated to the 8a that I'll put somewhere on screen if you want to check that out, but here's a quick recap of what to expect. This device will likely have the usual plastic body, using the current year Tensor G3. It'll have a 120Hz display, which is an upgrade over the 90Hz found on the 7a, and the price will be around $550 US. Since that video though, we have had some new information, such as all of the potential colour options of the Pixel 8a. There's no official names for these, but based upon past schemes, we have a bay blue type colour, there's a porcelain white-esque version, an obsidian black model, and a new green colour, which might be a Google Store exclusive like the Coral 7a, but we haven't yet found out if that is the case. That said, it does look the most striking to me. It also seems that the 8a will feature a matte finish on the black model instead of a glossy one, at least in keeping with the Pixel 8 Pro this time around. So far though, the 8a is set to be a pretty decent mid-range offering, but if a previous Google roadmap leak from 2022 is true, sadly this could be the last year that we see an A series device, as the base Pixel 9 looks to fill that role and take the baton for future launches as the mid-ranger / entry-level product in Google's lineup. In summary though, those are all of the details we know at this stage on the 5 Google smartphones we're expected to see in 2024. Again, it's worth reiterating that these are still rumours at the end of the day, so things might change, specs might be wrong, so take everything with a grain of salt until Google officially reveals something. But things look quite interesting for this 2024 lineup, I'm sure you'll agree. Speaking of which, what are you most excited about in Google's prospective lineup? Will the Pixel 9 Pro become that awkward middle child like I think it could do? I'm fascinated to hear your thoughts. Let us know down in the comment sections below. But until next time, thanks for watching, and Jordan and I will speak to you later.